Sonic the Hedgehog, that blue dude who goes a little faster than normal. Most of the games in the Sonic franchise are well known for being subpar and because it's Sonic, and people know Sonic for the kiss, for the cheesy voice acting, for the subpar gameplay. However, if there's one major quality about the franchise that always stuck with me and made me love the franchise even more, it's the music. Somehow, the music has always stayed consistent throughout the years, aka good. It's all good, minus a select few. Today, we'll figure out how and why it's all really good, starting with the Hedgehog's roots on the Sega Genesis. Welcome to Identifying the Sound of Sonic. During the development of Sonic 1, Sonic Team decided to bring on Masato Nakamura to compose the game's music. Masato was the bassist and founder of the Japanese band Dreams Come True. When he was working on the music, he wasn't used to working on the music from the visuals. Typically, the music comes first to give off the inspiration for a music video or an album cover. He was only able to use early screenshots and concept art for inspiration because the game was early in development. With that in mind, he was able to create some of the most recognizable tracks throughout the entire franchise, including Green Hill Zone. After the fanfare of the title screen, Green Hill Zone is the first thing you see. The build-up of the marimba with the brass opening continued by other synths. The percussion is light and easygoing. Green Hill would of course go on to appear in countless other games, almost to the point where the track is monotonous. Of course, Masato brought more to the table when it came to tracks in Sonic 1. The slow but mysterious synths of Marble Zone, the upbeat and catchy brass and percussion from Spring Yard, and the calm and moving synths from Starlight Zone. For a game that came out in 1991, you can easily tell how impressive and cultivating these tracks are. If it's one thing that the Genesis had that the Super Nintendo didn't, it was the sound chip. It's undeniably better than the SNES's sound chip. However, they both are amazing in their own ways. The Genesis's chip is more efficient in the guitars and the percussion, but more weaker compared to the SNES on more orchestral type tracks. Here's an example. Obviously, this has nothing to do with my video. Moving on. Now, like in Sonic 1, Nakamura once again began composing early in development, only using concept art and early screenshots for reference. Nakamura treated Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and 1 as a film, and designed the music around the atmosphere that he felt from the images of the stages. Because of this, he was given pure freedom, which he believed was the reason why he was able to create such melodic tunes and unusual rhythm patterns. He created the music while he was recording with Dreams Come True in London, working on their fifth album, The Swinging Star. Moving on, when you jump in Emerald Hill, you get a triumphant brass opening, but to me what really shines here is the nice synth riff along with a killer bass line. Now, Chemical Plant is a whole nother level of bops, with another killer bass line and a build-up to the longest and maybe highest note out of both Sonic 1 and 2. Casino Night Zone takes a more jazzy vibe, with the ride cymbal taking most of the percussion. The brass here takes the reins and it sounds like something I would hear at a jazz concert, and I'm a huge fan. Probably my favorite part about Casino Night was right at the end before the loop we hear a little bass riff. Obviously, there are some other tracks I also enjoy here, like Mystic Cave, which I asked my friend Zach to make a calm remix out of it for the podcast, and Aquatic Ruin. However, what is probably my second favorite to Chemical Plant would be Metropolis Zone. One of my least favorite stages in Sonic history, but at least it had a killer track. I mean, listen to this! The drums bopping and the record spins, the bass line and the deep guitar makes it sound like you really are in a world of machinery and dread as Robotnik continues to take over the world and preparing his death egg. However, what was the most trivial track from this game was the ending theme, which turned out to be the track Sweet 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 from Dreams Come True. If you haven't listened to the original, I'll play a snippet. Surprisingly, really good, and the track fits really well to the ending of Sonic 2. This is the opening track to Sonic CD, Sonic You Can Do Anything. It was composed by Masafuri Ogata and was originally the track Green Hill Zone from the Game Gear version of Sonic 2. Sonic CD's OST, Not You, was composed by Naofumi Hayata, hope I'm saying that right, and Masafumi Ogata. Trying out something new, they based their tracks off of a genre known as New Jack Swing, along with club music, such as house and techno, while Hataya specifically cited C+C Music Factory, Frankie Knuckles, and the KLF as influences. These tracks are really good. Like, really good. In the game, Sonic travels through time, and when he went to the past or the future, a new remix of the present track would ensue. The past tracks usually point out the more peaceful and organic areas, but the bad future tracks usually enlist the more robotic and mechanical entails of what the future brought. And that's cool. However, I have to talk about the other stinker here. The US soundtrack. Now, in my humble opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of this soundtrack, and the only real outcome of this was Sonic Boom. You Can Do Anything was replaced with Sonic Boom, composed by Nielsen and performed by the female vocal group Pache. Wow, was that really nice. Crush 40 and Cash Cash even came in later to do a remix of it, and wow! That one's admittedly really good too. I'm getting off topic, but the US release of Sonic CD was delayed for 2 months for a new soundtrack composed by Spencer Nielsen, David Young, and Mark Crew. According to Nielsen, Sega believed it needed a more rich and complex soundtrack. Unfortunately, they could not replace the past and future tracks since they were sequenced PCM audio tracks rather than streamed mixed mode CD audio, so they just removed them? Yikes. Sonic CD is an okay game, but the soundtrack's killer. Okay, now here's where the real fun starts. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 began development in 1993 right after Sonic 2 and was worked on simultaneously with Sonic CD. Initially, they brought in our old friend Nakamura back to compose. However, he wanted to get paid more if he wanted to continue composing tracks and using previous tracks from the other two games. So Sega dropped our friend for a highly regarded and well-known musician in the pop industry, Michael Jackson. Michael was interested when the job offer went up, and he, along with his sound team, all credited here, brought on. Amongst the sound team was a Jun Sonoe, who came to play much later in the life of the Blue Blur. However, later on Jackson was not impressed by the sound of the Genesis chip, which, that's hard to believe. Like, how? And plus, sexual allegations. So he dropped off and was initially uncredited in the final product. He let the sound team continue though. Michael's influence wasn't removed entirely, however. Carnival Night used Jam's 6-note progression in a heavily compressed Jam. The credits theme was later reused for 1996's Stranger in Moscow, and Ice Cap Zone was later discovered that it was influenced by the Jetsons' Hard Times. Yes, not entirely related to Jackson, but was related to the keyboardist Brad Buxer, who also composed the game. However, music was changed for the Sonic & Knuckles collection for PC, and originally it was thought because of the MIDI format couldn't handle that stuff like Carnival Night's Glass Shatter and Launch Base's Go! And it was probably true. However, recently, a beta ROM was released with the completely different tracks. and I'm assuming was composed by Nakamura, and were the same exact tracks used for the PC port. If you want to see a better and more informational video about Michael's involvement with Sonic 3, then check the description for a video by The D-Pad. Really good stuff. Now, let's actually get into some of the music. Something new that they tried this time around was creating new music for every single act. Angel Island's opening with the marimba is great and is honestly my favorite out of the classic Sonic's first levels. However, the GOAT, the king of level music from the entire franchise, is immediately after you beat that level. Hydrocity Zone. Wow! This is the best group of music tracks, but Act 2 really takes the cake. I can't describe it, it's just so good. So good that it's everywhere on my channel. So good that I know the entirety of Act 2 on the bells. That bass line, the chorus is godlike, what follows is also godlike. Everything is amazing and I love it. I would easily take this over anything related to Queen. It's that good. Mercury got nothing on Hydrocity Act 2. Moving on, there are some other incredible bops here, including the earlier mentioned Ice Cap Zone, Flying Battery Zone, oh lord, the boss theme, the kick-ass final boss theme, and the second best to Hydrocity, Doomsday Zone. The adrenaline, the rush, the bass line, every single track in this game is just some of the best in video game history. Just play Sonic 3 Air. Just look it up. Look up how to do it and just play it, man. It's just the best way of playing Sonic 3 and the best way of hearing these tracks. It's just good. Play it. The Genesis games provided many new track and ventures into the music realm, with Nakamura, Jackson and his sound team, and Hayata and Ogata creating some of the best video game music to ever grace God's green earth. Of course, later on into the late 90s, we got amazing tracks from the Saturn port of Sonic 3D Blast, and the infamous Sonic R by Richard Jacques. And even the Sonic the Hedgehog OVA had some killer bops by Mitsuko Tada. I don't know how to pronounce that. However, one game in 1998 would change everything with the music produced in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise for years to come. More on that later.